Hello and welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop, your one stop for co-op news, reviews, and playthroughs. I'm Peter, and today I'm playing through Marvel Champions. I'm playing Psylocke. It's a new deck. Fantasy Flight sent us to us early. I scanned all the cards in, put it into the Tabletop Simulator to make it easier for everybody out there to view, but please remember to support your publishers. All right, let's go ahead and look at Psylocke. She is a 1 thwart, 1 attack, 2 defense, and 4 hand size. What the heck? None of that seems good, but wait. There is good stuff here. Whenever she attacks, she's going to have to flip over one of these Psy energy weapons she has here, but they can both be used for resources. So while she only has a 4 hand size, she has 2 extra resources. And Alter Ego, she has a 6 card hand size. She's going to start with them both on their Psy knife side up. And for an action, you can exhaust one of those to put a psionic card from your discard pile back into your deck. But let's go ahead and draw some cards and see what we get. So we got Upside the Head. After your hero makes a basic attack and damages an enemy, confuse that enemy. If the enemy is already confused, stun it instead. Seems good. IPAC. So it's an X-Force traded card. I am X-Force, not on this side, but on the other side. Exhaust IPAC and deal face down and counter card to any player to draw 2 cards. It's good, but dangerous. Telepathy. Play only if your identity has a psionic trait, which I do on both sides. And max 1 per player, exhaust telepathy and spend 2 mental resources to remove 2 threat from a scheme. Ooh, Power of the Mind. Doubles the number of resources this card generates when paying for a psionic card. So guess what? Paying for that telepathy, easy 2 resources. Plus, the Psy Knife actually generates a mental resource. Now, when it's flipped over to its katana. So on this side, it's going to give you +1 thwart, and you can exhaust it for energy, or for mental. On this side, it gets +1 attack and piercing, and you get to exhaust it for a physical resource. Let's see what else I have. Float like a butterfly. Play under any player's control, max 1 per player. When a character you control attacks a confused enemy, increase the amount of damage by 1. Seems like a really good thing to have for turn 1, especially when, didn't I have something to confuse? Oh yeah, Upside the Head. Confuses. When your hero makes an attack that has a keyword overkill, piercing, or ranged, which again, remember I get range or piercing when I flip that over, this attack deals an additional 2 damage. It's a really good starting hand. It's not a perfect starting hand, but it's really good. I'll discard this one and hope for a double resource. And watch, I'm going to get a really good other card. Oh, I am Angel. After you play Angel from your hand, ready your identity. Well, not this time. All right, we are going to go ahead and flip over. I don't have any psionic cards I want to shuffle back into my deck. That would make me use one of the Psy Knives. The good news is I got a lot of extra resources this turn. I have 6 card hand size plus these 2. So I'm going to use one of these, and I'm going to flip it because when you use it for a resource, you may flip the card. And I'm going to go ahead and put out telepathy. Then I'm going to pay for telepathy with the Power of the Mind, which is going to put... actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that. Instead, because there's only 1 threat on the main scheme, instead, I think I'm going to save it for... I'm going to use the Power of the Mind to pay. Is this a psionic? Nope, it's a skill. IPAC, it's good, but you know what? I'm going to put Float Like a Butterfly in. I want to do that extra damage to confused enemies because I feel like I'm going to confuse enemies a lot, including right here when I hit them upside the head. I do have an extra Psy Knife energy here, so maybe that means I hold on to Angel for the turn. We'll see. All right, so I am going to attack. I attack for 1, +1 for this katana, and then when you attack, you must flip something over first. So I'm going to flip this over, and I get another attack. So that's going to be 3 total attack. 1, 2, 3, remove from the life, and then we'll use this katana here, and I will flip it back over to Psy Knife side to, after they make an attack, to confuse the villain. And the villain's confused, which, if you remember anything about Ebony Maw, which, by the way, I should have told you we were playing against Ebony Maw. If you remember, when Ebony Maw activates against you, they're going to remove a counter from all their spells, and this one is going to deal 4 damage to me. So that seems like a lot of damage that I really don't want to take at the very beginning of the game. So we will confuse, so that way when I flip to Alter Ego side, they won't be removing invocation counters because they do have to activate against you for that to take place. I'm going to hold an Angel for now, and let's draw 3 cards, see what they are, and ready up. She does have some defensive cards. Oh, there's another float like a butterfly. I guess I didn't have to work on getting it out. Oh, this is Psionic Training. So this is a skill card, which is another part of our signature set. Psylocke ignores Garden Patrol keywords, but also a hero response, not force response, but response. After you thwart, you can discard it to confuse an enemy. So you can hold on to this ignoring Garden Patrol, but then also if you want to use it to confuse an enemy, you can do that. We got another upside the head, which also let us confuse. So really, Angel and Psionic Training are the only kind of useful cards because they're already confused and I already have a float like a butterfly. All right, well, it is now the villain turn, though. I did not get any help for myself. Let's add one threat here. Villain is going to attack me for 1, but first we do have to remove a counter there. Attack for 1. I'm not going to defend. Plus 3 more. Ouch. For a total of 4 damage. That was ouchie turn 1. And then let's see. We get another spell, which does Surge. Let's see. It starts with 2 invocation counters on it. After the last invocation counter is removed, discard a card at random from your hand and you're confused. Well, that's wonderful. Let's draw another one of those, which is the Villain Schemes one revealed, which means they activate. So that removes counters again. And then scheming for 2 plus a boost of 2, which is 4. Guess what? This goes away. That is turn 1. Attack on nowhere, done. One revealed, shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. I mean, yay for no acceleration. And then each player discards cards from the top of the encounter deck until a spell environment is discarded and puts it into play. So it doesn't at least get its boost, but here's a spell. Hey, seen this one somewhere before. So discarding cards, getting confused. I mean, not like I need to thwart. Not like I'm about to die in 2 seconds from this. If the stage is complete, you lose the game. Alrighty. Well, that was fun turn 1. Lots of spells out. Lots of confusion about to happen. But let's go ahead and see what we can do. So Angel, when I put her into play, you get to ready your identity. So let's do some stuff here before I flip down. So first things first. I'm going to attack. I am going to flip Psy Knife over to a Katana, and that means I get to attack for 3, 1 base, plus 1 for each of these, but I also get plus 1 because they're confused. So a total of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I can defeat Ebony Maw before everything breaks loose. So I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3, and flip one of these over while I'm doing that to put Angel into play, which lets me ready myself. And then let's go ahead and do it again. I'm going to attack, flipping this to a Katana. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 again. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to have Angel attack for 1 more. 2 more, sorry. I should have known how mighty you were, Angel. Actually, he is really good. I've played with his deck, and you will see him soon here on the main channel. So then I am going to put this Psionic Training in, paying for it with Upside the Head. And just a reminder, that lets me ignore Garden Patrol, but as importantly, if not more importantly, after I thwart, I can discard it to confuse an enemy. So that will be helpful. And I'm going to flip down because the enemy's confused. That lets me get a hand size of 6, which seems real good, especially since I get these 2 extra weapons for 2 extra resources. So let's go ahead and draw 6. Ooh, another training. Exhaust training regimen to search your deck for a skill and add it to your hand. So there are only 3 skills, but again, as I use them, they're going to get discarded. Now you do have to get them from your deck. Telepathic suggestion. This lets you ignore one revealed. Unfortunately, it's a hero interrupt, so I can't do it. But this is one of the cool things also with the energy weapons. So if you have a Katana up, you choose an enemy to deal 2 damage. For each knife you have up, you get to remove a threat from a scheme. And you get to ignore when revealed effects. So that's real good. And again, when you're flipping these, when you're spending them to pay for stuff, so you can use it to pay for this, you can also decide what side they're on too, which is kind of cool. So I get a defense, same theme here, prevent 2 damage. If I have Katana up, prevent 2 more damage. If you have a knife up, confuse an enemy. And again, that's 1 for each since you have 2 of them. Obviously, you're not going to double confuse here. Mental detection, remove a threat from a scheme. Same theme. If it's a knife up, you get to remove 2 additional threat. For each Katana, you get to draw a card. That seems good. And concussive blow. Hey, confuse an enemy and deal some damage. But we are not to our turn, we're to their turn, so we're going to add a threat to the main. We're going to get rid of this confused, which means none of these move closer, which is good. Let's go ahead and flip this over. It's a spell. Great. Starts with 3 invocation counters on it. Wonderful. This is Rubble Storm. Deal 2 damage to each character you control. Again, I need to stop all these from going off. I feel like bad things are happening, and I don't like it when bad things happen. But hopefully you can get rid of Maw here. We will see. But that gains Surge, so, when defeated. So it's a landing craft. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck. Until a minion is discarded, put that minion to play engaged with the player who defeated this scheme. Only 2 on it. Does have an acceleration, and again, I could lose here, but I really, really don't want to add more enemies. So for now, I'm not going to do that. All right. Do I want to heal before I go up? I think I'm going to hold on to this telepathic suggestion if I can. There's a defensive card too. I don't really have, honestly, great cards here. I do have this, which will let me kind of thwart without thwarting. I mean, I could do 3 damage, right? I got that going for me. I could use these to put psionic cards back in my deck, but I haven't really gotten my damaging cards out yet, so I don't know that I need that. I'm just going to like Concussive Blow here and just do a bunch of whomping if I can. So I am flipping up, and I am going to spend both of these, flipping 1 over, and I will spend Mental Detection. So that's 3 to pay for Concussive Blow. At least 1 was a fist, because actually both of these were fists. So that deals 3 damage. Actually, I'm attacking with Angel first, and then I'll do that. So get rid of the 1 damage there. Get rid of this Ebony Maw. And when Ebony Maw activates against you, spell, when revealed, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck. But let me not forget to do the 3 damage. So instead of 15 life, we're only going to 18. Or instead of 18 life, we're only going to 15. Wow. That was not intelligent. All right. So let's go ahead and discard cards till we reveal a spell and put it face up in front of me. Oh, good. We got rid of Supergiant. That makes me happy. Supergiant with their quick strike. Ooh, we got rid of Shadows. Also makes me happy. We got rid of my obligation, which I don't even know what it is, which also makes me happy. I don't see a spell, which doesn't make me happy. All right, there we go. 3 invocation counters. After the last invocation counter is removed, deal 2 damage to each character. We got some damage coming. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 if all these go away. So that would be bad. But don't forget, Concussive Blow, in addition to the 3 damage, also confuses. So we attack with Angel first, then we Concussive Blow. Now we're going to attack ourselves. So we are going to attack, switching this to a katana as well. So that gives me 3 damage plus 1 for this because he's still confused. So that's 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down to 11 life. Prevent 2 damage. Yeah, I should probably save that to not die. Not dying would be good. Telepathic Suggestion. Yeah, that's real good too. Oh, that's what I want to do. All right, I'm going to use Power of the Mind and Telepathy to remove 2 threat. We'll do that there. Now that is a thwart, so I could confuse an enemy, but they're already confused. Do I need the damage reduction this turn? The answer is probably no. And if I put this in, then I could search my deck for a skill. That seems good. If you're in hero form, you have to discard a card from your hand, though, which I don't want to do. So this will let me get more skills out. But now I get this to cancel any real bad when revealed effects like remove a counter from each of these things, which would be very bad because then I'd be blown up on for a ton. All right, so end of my turn. I'm going to go ahead and ready up, and I'm going to draw up. Ooh, there we go. Flurry of Blades, deal 2, and then for each katana you control, deal an additional 2. So that could be up to 6 right there. Oh, and we got a redirect, which lets me prevent more damage and, well, confuse. Not useful when they're already confused. All right, we're going to add 2 to the main scheme because of landing craft. Then we're going to have Ebony Maw attack us, which unfortunately removes here, removes here, removes here, removes here, and removes there. And this one, after last invocation counter is removed, discard a card at random from your hand, and you're confused. Well, thanks for that, Ebony Maw. So this goes away. I do have to discard a card at random from my hand. And card 3. So there's my power of the mind. Apparently not very mindful anymore. And then let's go ahead and flip up our card. When revealed, so thankfully we saved this telepathic suggestion. When revealed, we would have removed 1 counter from each of these, which would have hit me for 4, which would be very bad. Oh, I am confused as well. So both Ebony Maw and I are both confused, which, yeah, that's a thing. So I'm going to do this. When you reveal a card from the encounter deck, cancel its when revealed effects, which is the entire card in this situation, which is great. For each katana you control, which are both, choose an enemy to deal 2 damage to it. For each knife you control, choose a scheme to remove a threat. Well, I don't care about that. This is not a thwarting card, thankfully, because if it was and I was confused, that would be an issue. Unfortunately, I can't pay for both of these, can I? I would love Fury of Blades, but you know what? This is going to do 4 damage and cancel that. I'm doing that. All right, so 1, 2, to go ahead and do this, which cancels a card and deals 4 damage. Now, is this an attack? No, because this says when a character you control attacks a confused enemy. So no, it's not an attack. It's just going to be 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get that garbage out of here because that would have been terrible. Now I still have Fury of Blades and Psionic Redirect, which would help me with defense. I got all this in front of me. I just need to do 7 damage. So I'm just going to pray that nothing terrible happens. Or maybe I don't pray. Maybe I flip over and heal so I don't have to pray. That seems like a better plan. So we are going to flip over. We are going to heal for 3. 1, 2, 3. So I don't die. Then we are going to have Angel attack for 2. She will go away. 1, 2. And I will discard my defense, my Psionic Redirect, and I will exhaust everything, and I will draw my 5 cards and just count on Fury of Blades to do that last bit of damage, because right now it does 2 damage plus 2 for each katana, which is 2 katanas. So I also, again, similar for the threat removing one, remove a threat, 2 additional, drawing cards. Oh, more telepathic suggestions, which are great, but unfortunately only hero. Weapons training, gain retaliate, and then you could, after you attack, you can discard it to ready each weapon. So if I really need resources, I could do that. It's going to cost 2 to come in, but then they go away. We've seen telepathy and directed force. Nothing new there, but let's add 2 threat to the main scheme. Ebony Maw is confused, so guess what? Not going to activate and not going to do any of this. Hopefully this doesn't activate them. Alter Ego, this card gains Surge. Pray for something not terrible. Surge and comes in with 3 counters on it. This one exhausts each upgrade you control. I have a lot of upgrades. Same. Surging again. Remove 1 invocation counter from each spell environment in your play area. If you have no spell environments, that's not a problem. Not a problem. So let's one at a time resolve these. All right, that one goes to 0. That one goes to 0. That goes to 1. 1, 2, 2. All right, so let's resolve the first one. Deal 4 damage to your identity. It says identity, not hero. So, yep, I still take it. So that's bad. After the last invocation counter is removed, discard a card at random and you're confused. So I have 6 cards now, not 4. So let's go ahead and get a 6-sided dice to determine my fate. And as long as it is not, I'm not even going to say it. Just, we don't want a bad number to be rolled. 3 doesn't seem like a bad number. That's telepathy. All right, yeah, 1 was the bad one. If I lost my Flurry of Blades, I probably could have still pulled it off, but it would not have been as good. That goes away. So that wasn't the end of the world, although it wasn't great. But nice part is I'm pretty much in position to win here. Let's go ahead and flip over. And we are just going to play Flurry of Blades. I'm not going to prolong this. Paying 1, 2. I'm not getting rid of that card. Even if I think I'm winning here, I'm not getting rid of that card. 3. All right, so Flurry of Blades. For each katana, deal 2 additional. For each side knife, choose an enemy to confuse. You know what? I'll flip 1 to a side knife. So we're doing 2 damage plus 2 more and confusing. So 1, 2 plus 2 more and confusing, which will let me do my fun attack. I'm going to attack, flip this to a katana. 1, 2, 3 plus 1 for this. 4 damage. And actually, this is an attack as well. So I think this would have triggered before. So I would have done the last damage even without that. Oh no, because they weren't confused. That's right. They became confused afterward because they could become confused in the middle of the activation. I don't know if I would have done an extra damage there or not. That is a good question. This whole card is an attack, so I actually think I would have done it if I put confused first. That's a good question though. So we've seen all the cards. Telepathic Suggestion, maybe my new favorite card. One of the most powerful cards in the game. Now it is when you reveal the card, so it is on you, but you're always going to have the 2 resources to pay for it. I don't know, just really good. All right, so we got Float Like a Butterfly, Captain Britain. We didn't see him. 4 cost, 3 life, 3 attack, 3 thwart. Whoa, but 2 consequential damage. Captain Britain takes -1 consequential damage after he thwarts a side scheme or attacks a minion. We got a new player side scheme. I love these things. It's a 1 cost player side scheme. You're going to put 3 threat on it per player. When defeated, the player who defeated the scheme deals 5 damage per player to the villain. That seems good. Justice can do some damage. Concussive Blow, Directed Force, upside the head. We've used that quite a bit. Flurry of Blades, got another Flurry of Blades in there. X Bunker. Exhaust X Bunker to choose a player whose identity has the mutant trait. So that's usually alter ego. The player searches the top X cards of their deck, where X is the number of side schemes in the victory display. Well, which would be 0 right now, but you know who's going to love that? Cable's going to love that. I haven't filmed my video yet, but definitely look out for Cable coming soon. And adds that card to their hand. You're going to draw X cards based on how many are in there, and you get to keep 1. More Flurry of Blades, more Concussive Blow. Cypher, 2 costs, 2 health ally, 1/1. After Cypher attacks and damages a confused enemy, draw a card. Well, yep, we like that in this deck for sure. Mental Detection we already talked about. Martial Arts Training skill, +1 defense. After you defend against an attack, you may discard Martial Arts Training to ready Psylocke. Well, that's nice. Soaring Hearts, that's a team-up card with Angel and Psylocke. Search your discard pile for an identity-specific event and add it to your hand. Ready Angel and Psylocke. You got Pete Wisdom here, playing only if your identity has X-Force trait. After you resolve the when revealed effects of a treachery card, heal 1 damage. So more when revealed stuff. Healing, that's pretty good. 2 attack, 3 thwart. Any heals? That seems real good. And telepathy again. All right, well, it's final thoughts time. Let's look at Psylocke. Final thoughts on Psylocke. I am having a blast with her. She is so much fun. I haven't really constructed a deck for her yet. I've just been playing through some of the next evolution campaign with her, and I'm having so much fun with her starter deck. I love heroes that give you free resources. Like, she starts with 2 free resource cards in play and a 6 hand size. And she's one of the more flippy heroes that I play with because you do have that confused. Now, she is going to struggle a little bit more with anyone who's steadfast or steady. Steadfast specifically. I mean, steady you can kind of deal with, but she does want to flip down a lot. So she is going to struggle with that a little bit. And you really kind of have to decide which way you're going to go each turn. But getting a 3 thwart or 3 attack isn't that hard because as you exhaust your resources, you can decide how you want to flip them. Sometimes you run into timing issues where you can't quite do the damage or the threat removal you want. You don't get that 3 every turn, but you get it most of the time. And getting 3 attack or 3 thwart for most heroes is pretty darn good. And it doesn't even require you to like exhaust the card to get +1 attack or +1 thwarting. They're just innate benefits of having those cards. So she is really fun. I can only imagine deck building with her is going to be fun. You can kind of build her any way you want. You could build her very expensive because she gets free resources. You can definitely build her up if you want to. I really like this confuse build, so I do think she works well in Justice because I think getting those confuses, she can with her cards, as you've seen, but just more opportunities to confuse in the deck so she can flip every turn is really fun. Playing her against Maw was good for her because it stopped those spell counters from getting on because of all the confuse she has in her deck. So it was a lot of fun. I really enjoying Psylocke so far. Definitely Fantasy Flight made a very unique hero again that feels different than any other hero they've done before. They are really good at that. So kudos to you, Fantasy Flight. Well, keep an eye out. I will have a Cable video coming soon, and we will also have Angel video coming soon. So keep an eye out for that. Until then, we will see you soon. Bye.